I used to have a heart of gold. I didn't act out of malice. I just wanted to help people and make them happy to know me. After poverty, a near-death experience, and a brutal breakup involving betrayal by many people that made me question everything, I am not a good person anymore. I am cynical, occasionally angry, and generally just in it for myself. I've lost faith in the idea that people are worthy of kindness. I used to always be treated like a brother or the gay friend. I was the guy at the popular girl sleepovers because they assumed I was asexual. At university, I was the only guy many of my female friends trusted when they were very drunk. It sucked because I was single and basically on walk-home duty for most of university. But I figured I was acting in a way that put me in the nice guy trope. Guys who expect sex after holding a door open. What I don't understand and can't stand is that women still think I'm too nice, or don't feel they're good enough for me. I'm starting to feel like the ugliest guy on earth, and every woman comes up with an excuse for why they wouldn't want to be with me. I don't even know if I want to get laid. I just want to be seen as attractive at some point. I literally bloodied an opponent in a boxing match, and the girl I had a crush on at the gym said I'm such a good friend because I got him some ice after beating him. A girl at a bar once told me I look too nice to be in a dive bar. I used to bartend at dive bars. Recently, I was actually flirting with a woman for the first time in years, and she asked my friend jokingly, "Is he a good guy?" She, extremely drunk, started welling up and said, "Yes, and no one seems to see it. You'll never guess who I didn't go home with that night." How do I stop women looking at me like, "Ah, what a good guy. I bet he's a great brother," and start looking at me more like, "Damn, I kind of want to go home with him"? Story 1. Here is what you need to understand. Nobody is getting rejected for being a good guy or too nice. The whole nice guys finish last trope is something men tell themselves to avoid confronting the actual reasons women are not interested in them. Boring men, passive men, and timid men all finish last, and many men mistake these qualities in themselves for niceness. I do not know enough about you to know why you are struggling with women, but the self-aggrandizing narrative will not help. Whatever it is that drives women away, it is not that they perceive you as being too good a person. Story 2. Excuse me for my rudeness. I base this on some understanding I have about how these things work. Are you unattractive or short? Nevertheless, I suggest you look inward and work on yourself intensely. Don't expect women to tell you negative truths. They will do everything in their power to avoid such things. If you are unattractive or undesirable, they may say you are too good for me, as a way to reject you or call you such a nice guy. Trimmed nails and hair, a muscular lean body, and clothes that fit are the first things you can do. Also, based on your profile and how many posts you make about the same issues, this post and the comments won't help you at all. You are in a perpetual cycle. You must change for the better. I don't think you can do it. You keep returning to toxic feelings. Story 3. You are too passive, and people see you as someone who hesitates and seeks their validation. As humans have evolved as a socially collaborative, communicative, and hierarchical species, we subconsciously view people with such behavioral tendencies as timid, weaker, less trustworthy, and lower in status. Story 4. I recommend avoiding all nice guy or asshole thought exercises in relation to what women find attractive. Chronically online boys embittered by the lack of sex and affection from women like to say that in their echo chambers, but it is rubbish. With my 36 years of life experience and social observations, I find this to be generally true. Women don't like assholes. Women like confidence and social skills. It helps if you are handsome, but you absolutely do not have to look like Henry Cavill physically to have a chance. Maintaining a consistently high standard of hygiene, grooming, and well-fitting clothes will help you a lot. If you look and act like you have things going on in your life other than video games, beer, pornography, and social media, someone is going to like you. I also recommend working on how to drop the brooding edgelord tone that shines through your text. I have been poor, bullied, an outcast for no reason by so-called friends, betrayed, near death, beaten, dumped, and I have held my dead son in my arms. I am not going to say man up, because that is a garbage thing to say, but I am going to say that even though I have cause to think life and people are difficult, I have managed to concentrate on how they can also be pretty sweet. I am having a good time despite past misery, so I know for a fact it is doable. Story 5, you have to stop caring. Somehow, women sense that you are desperately single. When you stop worrying and live your life without a care in the world, you show confidence in yourself, and women are attracted to that. Don't act tough, don't be rude, and don't force something to happen. Your whole attitude suggests you are trying to be someone you dislike to attract women. Don't. Think carefully about what and how you do things, and remember, people are just as desperate as you, have the same problems, and are as insecure as you. The world gives you a lot to deal with, so do not lose sleep over what people think about you. Stop caring and do what makes you truly happy. Being with another person will not make you happy. When you are satisfied with who you are, you will find someone who respects your true self and not an image. Story 6, 1. Focus on self-improvement and do not care about what others think. If they see you as nice, it could be an excuse because they do not find you attractive or otherwise. Overall, they are doing you a favor by telling you that they are not worth having around. Being nice can sometimes mean you are seen as a doormat and allow people to disrespect you. You are showing that you want something, such as sex or otherwise, and the person knows they can take advantage as long as they have that upper hand on you. I have had ex-girlfriends do this to me in the past and admit it. When interacting with someone, be intentional and genuine. If you want to have a date with a woman, ask her out. If she declines, walk away with grace. If she agrees, repeat step 1. If you want to open a door for someone, male or female, just do it. If you see someone has their zipper open, tell them subtly. People remember these things about a person. Story 7. Sorry, from what I have seen, you either have it or you do not. Sounds like you are just dull from what I gathered. The vibe I get from you is the kind I would see at the club, just standing by himself doing nothing, not even dancing or socializing much. Maybe I am wrong. Story 8. Nowhere in your complaint did you mention if or how you approached any of these women you were attracted to. Did you ever say to your gym crush, "Hey, I think you were cute. Would you like to grab a drink?" Did you ever ask one of those women if they would be interested in dating? Here is the important point. If you did, and they said no, did you accept it gracefully and continue being a respectful person? Women see you as safe. In this day and age, that is actually a positive trait. There are a lot of unsafe men out there, but you need to take an active role in your romantic life. Women are not just going to pursue you because you are nice or whatever. Keep being nice. Keep being interesting. But do not be so passive either. You will get rejected. That is normal and you will get over it. Do not be unpleasant when it happens. Keep friends that are women too, even if they are not romantically interested. They might set you up or give you advice. If you ever use the word friend zone, seriously, reconsider your attitude. Story 9. I do not know you, but I get a bad vibe from you and how you describe yourself. Talk to some friends. Maybe do not go out alone. Understand that a man flirting and trying to have sex is very common for a woman, and that going out with friends and trying to hook up with a random man is uncommon for them when they can have sex via an app literally anytime they want. Story 10. Your whole history is about venting, complaining, and being miserable. Not trying to be rude, but stop trying to find happiness in the validation of being chosen by a woman. Just try to be happy, positive, and proud of yourself, and women will notice. Women see men who are miserable inside. They sense it most of the time. Focus on that. Story 11. After reading this, I would say your number one issue is maturity. Be a good person. Do not obsess over what people think of you. Story 12. Niceness is often mistaken for many things. Being passive, timid, not speaking up, or standing up for yourself. Many people often think they are being nice by doing things for others when they are actually doing it to make themselves feel good. I know very few truly nice people in my lifetime. If you do not think you are nice, then I guarantee you are not, and you are sending passive or weak energy. Also, for what it is worth, stay away from women who tell you that you are too nice. Story 13. You are not a threat. That is a very good thing. You also seem to lack personality. Why do you not find topics you want to talk about? If the other party is not interested, move on. Story 14. You allowed yourself to be used and became upset that you were treated unfairly. Now you are burdened by the past when you let others take advantage of you. Story 15. If you are only being nice to women because you are trying to sleep with them, that does not actually make you a decent person. It is transactional and self-motivated. The hard truth that needs swallowing here is that women do not owe you anything because you treat them with respect and decency. They are not sex dispensers that operate on nice coins. They are people. Treat them like people with decency and respect because it is the right thing to do, not because it will get you something. If you can accept that and go through life being a good person and fulfilling yourself in other ways, you have a much better chance of finding a partner. Story 16. They do not see a nice guy. They feel safe but not excited. You do not need to change who you are. Just show a little more edge with the softness. Story 17. Do not get too hung up over it. The damaged nice guy, I can fix him, or nice guy that can be violent when necessary stereotype drives women crazy. Being nice is only a problem when it is used as a kind way to say someone is boring or predictable. Story 18. No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. Keep reflecting on the nice guy concept. See if you feel like a mirror when you hear about the general character of a nice guy. It is something to move beyond. Move away from the blame game and keep the focus on yourself. Knowledge is critical even if the nice guy concept does not apply fully. It is still very important to understand. Compulsive masturbation, weed, and alcohol all get in men's way. I strongly disapprove. I want better for us. Focus, brother. Humble yourself and rebuild. Story 19. I know it's easier said than done, but you have to learn to stop caring. Ever notice how the girl you're not paying much attention to is often the one who's interested in you? Meanwhile, the girl you're chasing is always too busy to hang out. She's not too busy. She just doesn't want to hang out with you. Women aren't that direct. They'll skirt around an issue and hope you take the hint. I am cynical, occasionally angry, and generally just in it for myself. You need to figure out why this is. Is it because you've never gotten much attention from women? Or do you never get attention from women because you're cynical? Either way, that attitude repels women. The number one rule about women is that they want to have fun. Remember the song Girls Just Want to Have Fun? Cyndi Lauper wasn't lying. In general, women don't want to have serious discussions about things like economics or whatever else. They don't want a guy who's bitter or cynical. You need to be a fun guy to be around. We have all seen, or at least heard of, the guy who's not that great looking but is always surrounded by women, and that's because he's fun. If you're not much in the looks department, then you need to work on your personality. You don't need to be a comedian, you need to be fun. When they're telling you you're so nice and whatever else, that's woman speak for you're boring. Same thing every day, same conversations every day. Be unpredictable. Are you angry that women don't give you the sort of attention you want? Or is there a particular woman who doesn't? Do you work out? You said you did a boxing match. That's great, but that doesn't mean you're in shape. Butterbean was a boxer, but back in the day he wasn't in shape at all. Powerful, but not in shape. Get these things right in this order: sleep, diet, exercise. If you're not sleeping right, it will affect the rest of your life. You'll be irritable and not a fun person to be around. Once you get that fixed, focus on your diet. If you're eating poorly, you'll feel poorly, and unless you're a professional athlete, no amount of exercise will help. Once that's fixed, figure out an exercise plan. Lift weights, go running, do martial arts, whatever it is you want or can do. Story 20. The other night, I was actually flirting with a woman for the first time in years, and she asked my friend jokingly, "I don't know, is he a good guy?" She, extremely drunk, started welling up and said, "Yes, and no one seems to see it. You'll never guess who I didn't go home with that night. How do I stop women from looking at me like, ah, what a good guy. I bet he's a great brother," and make them look at me more like, damn, I kind of want to go home with him? Well, you answered your own question in part if you read closely enough. Not only does your girlfriend treat you like a boyfriend, she promptly blocked you the moment you tried not being a boyfriend to another woman. Lose those friends and get some male friends who will actually wingman you instead, for starters. I literally bloodied an opponent in a boxing match, And the woman I had a crush on at the gym said I'm such a good friend because I got him some ice after beating him. You answered your own question again. Don't get him ice. His own corner and his girlfriend, which you don't have, can do that. You celebrate winning instead. Story 21. Too nice doesn't mean too nice. Good guy doesn't mean good guy. It may mean a mixture of passivity, boredom, constant self-deprecation, and lack of awareness about their presentation, including personality, mannerisms, and looks. They may have tics or quirks that are seen as unpleasant rather than enticing. Saying too nice or good guy is usually a pity placeholder for someone who interacts with women in a passive and forgettable manner, and is often avoidant in ways they are not aware of. Guys interpret this as needing to be more aggressive or less respectful, but that's not the case at all. When a good guy changes and loses the title but doesn't gain a better experience with women, it is likely due to an overall shallow experience given to women. This may be due to the guy's depravity, whether sexual, emotional, or otherwise. Story 22. Number 1 meta tip I'm going to reveal to you. If there are two girls standing and talking to each other, walk up and compliment the eyes, smile, or hair of the girl you are not interested in. Then introduce yourself to them. Be normal and funny. High success rate. Story 23. There are many solid points in this thread worth considering. I don't know you well enough to judge your character traits or what might be contributing to this, but I can promise that your self-defeating and negative mindset is a problem that fixing other things cannot solve. It changes your personality, how you respond to others and their energy, and how people ultimately see you because it does not just stay in your head. People pick up on that, especially women. It does not matter how nice you are or what other good qualities you have. If you approach interactions with women already assuming it will not go well or that they will not like you, it ends up being a self-fulfilling prophecy because it shows in your demeanor. You enter the interaction assuming you are not an option for her, and she picks up on that and rules you out because of it. Any change must start with ditching this mindset because you eventually give in to it and make it true by how you live, even though it does not have to be. Story 24. You're such a good friend. Is her observing your behavior towards him. She's remarking that even though you beat him, you were gracious in victory to someone she assumes is your friend. She wasn't picking that moment to friend zone you unless there is more context. If there is more context, then tying it to that story would be bizarre because it implies those actions of demonstrating physical superiority and a caring nature should have won her somehow. You look too nice to be in a dive bar, lady. I'm giving a greater than 50% chance that if you confidently and naturally said, well then I guess we should get out of here, she would have gone with you. That's her hitting on you. Women don't dislike you, you don't like you, and you end connections before they can possibly be formed as a defense mechanism. Probably. Story 25. I am a Category 4 cave troll, and I have managed to sleep with some beautiful women and am currently in a very fulfilling relationship. You have to bridge the gap, be clear in your intentions through your actions, and be bold and daring when an opportunity to shift the dynamic presents itself. The worst that can happen is you get rejected, which then tells you not to waste energy pursuing that person and to move on. Story 26. When a girl says, you are too nice or good guy, she does not actually mean that. She means she sees you as weak or is not attracted to you. Most of the time, she does not really care about whether a guy is a good guy. Otherwise, there would not be as many teenage pregnancies, single mothers, or nearly 50% divorces. Story 27. Instead of letting past experiences turn you into a cynical bad person, change your mantra to something positive. For example, I want to be around people of the highest integrity and honesty who see me for who I am. Repeat this for a few days and observe if the quality of the people you meet begins to improve. Many difficult things have happened to me, but I refuse to let that change who I am. Story 28. Being nice has never gotten me anywhere either. I am coming to realize that being a little bit difficult is how to move forward in life. We should be best friends. Story 29. Adopt one hobby or item of clothing, such as a hat or a jacket, that you think makes you seem unpleasant. If you smooth down all the rough edges, nobody finds you interesting. People need something to base their memory on, or they cannot. Story 30. Because you still cannot bring yourself to pursue your own interests, Why have you only flirted with one woman in years? Why did you not confront your friend who drunkenly called you a nice guy if you knew that letting it slide would result in being denied what you wanted from this woman? Story 31. Stop being a passive participant in your dating life. You have overcome so much and continue to push yourself upon the world. Go out and make your intentions known, or stop caring entirely. Story 32. You are boring. That is the issue. You are a 3-star Yelp review, the Applebee's of people. People do not care if you are nice or not. They just do not have anything else to say about you. Story 33. There are many signs on the highway to the friend zone. You are obviously not paying attention to them because you are hyper-focused on them and not yourself. You are tailgating them into the friend zone. You sound unhappy about the situation and frustrated because you cannot figure out what you are doing wrong. Here is where to start. If you have a very attractive female friend who has recently friend-zoned you, and if you are close friends and she is willing, she can be a very useful resource to retrain your brain. Find another girl to court that she does not know. Tell her that you want to ask this girl out but are afraid of being friend-zoned again. Ask her to critique your clothes, your approach, and your attitude, and do not fight back. What she will end up doing for you is laying a blueprint for what she herself would respond to. Use this and actually try to ask this girl out in front of your friend. Practice your approach and pick the right time. There is a high possibility she will say yes. Even if she says no, brush it off like it is nothing, again in front of your friend. It shows that you know your worth, and that is very confident. Your friend will notice this. Try again. Do not be too eager, though. Show personal growth between each attempt, maybe start working out, and she will see you changing. She will be proud of your accomplishments because she directly affected your life. Even if you try and fail repeatedly, it is okay. Your friend may never see you as more than a friend, and that is okay too. But there is a possibility that your friend will start to see you in a new light after all of this. Or not. But it is worth a try. Story 34. You seriously remind me of this video. Check it out. Story 35. You are trying to diagnose the problem by addressing a symptom. I had a friend who was overweight a lot. I loved the guy to death, but he never got any attention from women. He always laughed it off whenever a girl used that high-pitched, trailing off voice and said, "Oh, X, you're so funny." You are taking that statement and equating it to their reasoning. I can assure you, my friend was not passed over because he was so funny. Women were not attracted to him or you, and you need to address why. Story 36. You're probably just not attractive enough. Enhance your appearance by working on your body, grooming, and style. Women risk more by having a casual encounter. Men do risk some as well, but less so regarding their mortality. They know finding any willing partner will be very easy, but if they decide they are attracted enough to take that risk and go home with someone for a one-night stand, they will choose the most attractive option for it to be worth it or else go home alone. Humans are animals too, and the human sex drive is largely based on evolutionary factors. That's why many women may cling to a reliable partner to raise their child, but still desire the tall, athletic individual with strong features to take them home, potentially leading to unplanned consequences. Nature and hormones drive the preference for traits that suggest stronger genetics for offspring survival. Most hope to avoid unwanted pregnancy, but the appeal of an attractive partner for a one-night encounter taps into one of the most basic and primitive instincts, even if precautions are taken. Story 37. Boundaries. You do not know how to communicate them effectively. There are other factors as well, namely not learning your lesson and pursuing emotionally unavailable people who do not reciprocate what you need, as well as failing to recognize that you need support and comfort too. Story 38. Whether you fake niceness or act poorly, it's all the same. If all you care about is the outcome, you will never be in the moment for real. It is in the moment where people make connections and feel sparks of attraction. Stop trying to make this transactional. I pushed this button and pulled that lever. Where is my treat? I thought I was guaranteed a treat if I did that. Be more of a person and less like a trained animal trying to approximate a behavior to earn a treat. Story 39. You need to work on flirting and expressing sexual interest. If you were just nice, you neuter yourself in her eyes. You have to be interesting and clear that you would sleep with her given the chance. The problem you will face is learning to balance that with not being seen as a creep and overcoming your own concerns about being seen as a creep. These are two related but different things. Use online video platforms to learn more. Story 40. Get No More Mr. Nice Guy audiobook or the book itself by Robert Glover. It might actually help you discover the underlying issue. I have a friend who is the coldest and most unapproachable person on the surface, but his need for validation seeps through him like an aura. So he is still called a brother, nice guy, and all that. Story 41. I feel you, man. Had the same kind of life. Female friends asking me why they can't find a guy like me. Being taken for granted by everyone. And no, I was never timid or boring. I was the confident, happy-go-lucky guy. That's how I presented myself and was perceived. In the end, I was just their safe space, the shoulder to cry on, the guy everyone turned to for advice, but easily dropped whenever they found their new shiny toy. Then I met the woman I would marry. They hated her. A female friend I used to pursue suddenly started to get interested in me. One day, after the final insult, I snapped. I exploded and told them all off, all my so-called friends, exactly what I thought of them. I broke with that environment. I walked out, now happily married with one or two people I can trust to call friends. I really dislike most people now, mostly because of my experience. Still a cynic and reasonably embittered, but done with being used. I'm now just in it for my family and myself. Last I heard, that group I used to call friends fell apart not long after my episode. I wasn't there anymore to soothe ruffled feathers or stroke egos. They got confronted with themselves. Forget them. Nice guys always do finish last. Story 42. Having a girl fall for a kind person is far better than not being kind just to attract unworthy girls. Story 43. A nice guy is not actually a good person. It is someone who acts inoffensive in appearance. He is instinctively disliked by females and other men. Story 44. You're getting a lot of negative replies, so hopefully you're not discouraged. I'd be frustrated reading all these too. I want you to know that I was exactly where you were when I was in my early 20s. I turned it around. Here are some things to know first before anything else. Warning, this got long. 1. Believe the women saying they're not good enough for you. They're right. We'll come back to this later. But for now, enjoy some peace of mind that you can absolutely change nothing and still find a woman who values you. I know it seems impossible. It's not. However, you will not be casually dating many women until then. The advice I give will be useful if you decide you want to date in the meantime. 2. Attraction is not a choice. Repeat that, learn it, internalize it. Attraction is a mechanical function hardwired into us. Put in the appropriate input and you get the requisite output. Imagine you're watching a documentary about humans and hearing the narrator comment on how the behavior of males leads to attracting a mate. You just need to learn what that appropriate input is, and that is actually a skill, a learnable one. By learning it, you will not have a 100% success rate, but you will maximize your odds depending on how closely your physical characteristics, height, attractiveness, build, match the ideal of the women you're trying to attract. The good news is that your chances are better than you might realize. 3. Be intoxicating to interact with. Keep people guessing. When she thinks you're going to do one thing, do something unexpected. Unpredictability within reasonable limits compels interest. For example, once during a group project, the girl I was interested in was distracted on her phone. I texted her, "Don't you hate when people don't help with group projects?" She gave me a look like, "I can't believe you just said that to me." Then she laughed. Another time at work, a girl I liked was on a heated phone call with a difficult customer. I grabbed the phone, hung up and said, "That call sounds boring. Let's go get boba." She was stunned, and I added, "You want to be here when they call back? Come on, let's go." Another time, I met a girl at a party. We made out, but nothing more. The next time we ended up in bed together, but she said, "Just because we're in bed together doesn't mean we're going to have sex." I shrugged and said, "Pretty presumptuous to assume you were getting lucky tonight. Obviously a joke." but she was testing me. We talked in bed. She told me about a friend who kept stealing the guys she liked. At the next party, I basically ignored her and focused on her friend. We talked, took shots, and she showed me tattoos that required unzipping her jeans. Later, I went back to the first girl and asked if she wanted to go upstairs. She didn't say a word. She just dragged me up. This is why some women end up with bad boys. They're unpredictable and create emotional peaks and valleys. This is intoxicating. When people don't know what to expect, but what's next might bring positive emotions, they seek more of that stimulus. 4. Understand nonverbal communication and body language. If you face her directly and lean in, you lose. I would form an L shape, her facing me, my body turned 90 degrees away but turning to look at her. Avoid letting your eyes wander. The L shape says, I wasn't planning to give you attention, but you've earned it. If you look around, it says, I'm desperate to capture every opportunity or might be socially awkward. If she says something you genuinely like, that's your cue to turn toward her. She will feel validated, and this makes her rationalize having been interested in you all along, feeling good about your attention. 5. Don't ask questions. Women dislike this. This is situational and somewhat of a crutch, but the lesson is worth knowing. Asking questions before you have exchanged numbers or are on a first date signals, I want to know you, which implies, I have limited options, or I am low value. This is harsh, but perceptions matter. Instead, tell a story or relate something about yourself and jokingly guess what her version would be. For example, that's why my favorite cartoon growing up was Rugrats. I bet yours was Beetlejuice, the animated series. You seem like you might have a repressed goth kid inside, waiting for a full moon. She may act shocked, a little indignant, laugh, then tell you her favorite cartoon. Your value rises significantly if her favorite really was Beetlejuice. This is long, so I'll stop here. If any of this is helpful, message me and I can share more. Just know this is a solvable problem, and you can access the solution. Story 45. Immediate red flag when you seemed mildly annoyed that the women in your life trusted you not to take advantage of them when they were drunk. I hate to break it to you, and you might have to learn this from experience if you're too stubborn for advice, but meaningless sex will solve absolutely nothing, and the validation will go right in and right out if that is what you're searching for. If you want meaningful change, you have to approach this foundationally. If you're unhappy because you crave love or sex, the answer is not to search for external love and sex to fill the void. It is much deeper work to heal whatever it is about you that craves that external need so much. All the men I know who have way too many partners to count regret it and feel deep shame about it. It did utterly nothing for them, and now they have to either lie to their future partners or be honest and deal with the very real consequence that having a high number of partners is super off-putting. I understand you're not trying to be with 200 people, but whether it's 2, 5, 10, or 20 partners, the void never gets filled all the same. Story 46. Keep being a good person and find your fellow good person. Many women infantilize themselves and are unable to grow as adults. This is why they keep dating the same unhealthy partners without learning from their experiences. You do not want to date those kinds of women. You want to date the rare person who has done the work to become healthy and avoid unhealthy patterns. That kind of person is rare, and you will have to wait until you find her. When you do, you will make a wonderful and healthy life together. Just be patient. Story 47. I thought for years that I didn't fit into my work culture because I was just too warm and happy-go-lucky. No, it was because I was an asshole to everyone around me. I just lacked the insight to recognize it because I was so absurdly self-centered. Also, I've never met a single woman who enjoyed or was grateful for being walked home by someone who was not their intimate partner while they were intoxicated. The dynamics of that interaction do not allow any woman to feel completely safe. Whether you like it or not, there's a difference in your level of strength, size, aggression, and so on. Those differences are a gorilla in the corner saying, if you say no, I might get pushy and aggressive. We wouldn't want that, now would we? You and I don't have to think twice about going to the grocery store after sundown. Women do. You cannot assume you understand women the way you understand yourself. You just don't. If you want the quasi-stoic machismo version, You need to focus on what you can control and stop making excuses. If it smells like crap everywhere you walk, it's because you stepped in shit. You're the source of the problem. You, not others' perceptions of you. You. Only weak men can't handle rigorous self-honesty. A real man looks within himself for factors he can control, especially improving his overall level of happiness and ability to flourish as a human. That comes first. That's what makes you attractive to others. People who are happy are confident, and people who are happy are attractive. You might think you're happy, but you're posting this kind of drivel. You're not happy, and other people know it. So hit the gym, fix your diet, find a career goal, study a passion, and get therapy. You have issues that aren't going to resolve themselves no matter how much you lift weights. Jordan Peterson is wrong about most of what he says nowadays, but he was right about making your bed. He was just wrong about why. You make your bed for the same reason you do anything else, because it's the right thing to do. You need no other reason to do anything. And if you keep doing what's right, you'll stack up the wins. I hate macho culture. Look, we have a cause and effect problem. We just suck at recognizing the relationship between various causes and various effects. The cumulative weight of those causes stacks up on each other and can crush you. If you want a good mentor, I like a speaker named Chuck Chamberlain. What he has is true charisma, derived from a combination of lived experience and a hefty dose of humility, with one final ingredient. Rule 62. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Your brain is meat with electricity. Why should it surprise you that you need redirection? Nobody is above these lessons. I learned them at age 32. I hope you never have to reach the levels of desperation I had to reach. Story 48. Here is the corrected text suitable for Azure Text-to-Speech AI. Okay, here is the thing, we do not act good so other people will be nice to us or give us what we want. That is why people are kind. We act in accordance with our virtues and values because it is the right thing to do. There is no such thing as being a good person. No one is essentially good or bad. We can act in accordance with our values. We can study and investigate the roots of our beliefs, our self-image, and our underlying resentments and feelings of lack. It is a difficult, alienated world. You are not alone in your loneliness. Everybody is struggling because the world is changing and dangerous forces are in control. Tend your own garden. When you have nurtured and developed your capabilities, when you have shown the universe whatever you are capable of maintaining, a healthy, non-toxic, mutually flourishing relationship, they will find you. Take heart. Goodbye. Story 49. Women do not want you to make them feel good or hear nice things. They want to laugh. You have to tease them on a friendly level. Get to know them because you are genuinely interested in them as a person. Then joke about what you just heard. Is it like negging? Yes and no. What the pickup artist approach does not understand is that you have to be interested in who she is and what she does first. You cannot just neg a girl right away. She might be everything you ever wanted. You have to make her feel like she could never be with you. Keep yourself on a pedestal but not in arrogance. Women do not want what is readily available. They do not want the lowest hanging fruit that is desperate to be picked first. When you become confident enough to hold these conversations and demonstrate that you do not need anything from them, they let their guard down. They do not want to hurt your feelings by rejecting your advance. And if you hear from every girl that you are too nice, then you are making it way too easy for them. You are being too easy. Story 50. It could be that your face is too expressive. Some girls are more attracted when you show less emotion. Story 51. Being a good person is a positive quality. Women in their 20s may not notice or appreciate it. Try dating older individuals and maintain your good character. Attraction is about confidence, not whether you are good or bad. Story 52. Just wait until a girl calls you a nice guy, protest playfully and say, "I could not make you breakfast tomorrow morning." If the phrase "nice guys finish last" comes up, try to work it in by saying, "Yeah, after you." All it takes is flipping the script through words or deeds to get them to see you as a nice guy and a prospect. Story 53. Women don't like to admit it, but they love assertiveness. Hence the meme of going for the bad boys. The issue is that surface-level masculine attractiveness combined with bad behavior often leads to abusive relationships, so the attraction fades quickly. When you are overly nice, you are not assertive. You respect women so much that you are afraid to show any interest or to pursue them. Women love to be pursued and desired. The main point is that she wants you to desire her. You can only figure that out by trying once and risking rejection. To stay safe, don't double down and try again immediately. If she changes her mind, she will return and pursue you instead. You need to take some initiative for yourself. Show women you desire them without being weird or creepy. This varies, but show you want them as a person, not just for sex or their body. And eventually, someone will respond. Story 54. Good guy or nice guy is what you call someone when you cannot think of anything else positive to say about them. But at least they are not unpleasant. The key point is that all else being equal, a woman will prefer a nice guy to a jerk. However, the exciting versus boring dimension is far more important than nice versus jerk. An exciting jerk beats a boring nice guy every time. Story 55. Brother, all this advice would work for someone with a sense of personality. I'm sorry, but you seem boring. You tick off a lot of the positive qualities, but if you want to spend any amount of time with someone, they would have to have some ability to hold your attention. Too many people get stuck on the physical aspects of being attractive and never fully develop the social or personality aspects of it. Yes, looking good and paying for things is nice, but you have to be able to actively listen and contribute to conversations. I do not know if you have friends, but if you do, start taking them up on going outside during the day. Not to the gym. Go hiking, ride roller coasters, go to a paint and sip event without the goal of getting a romantic partner. Go experience life and then talk about it with the people you are interested in romantically. Talk about it with others as well. Story 56. From a woman, we really do love nice guys. I married the nice man who didn't have much dating experience before me. What drew me to him was his confidence, and he was so manly. He built things and was so incredibly smart that I was enamored by his ability to do almost anything that was asked of him. If he didn't know how to do something, he figured it out. Have confidence in yourself. I don't know what you look like, but as long as you don't look untidy and shower regularly, stand up straight, speak with authority, and walk into a room like you know everyone there. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.